When I was younger, I got a really good piece of advice that said that you should write the book that you wish you could find on the shelf but can't, and also that you should write what you love to read. And I used to love to read these middle grades that kind of lived in this world above middle grade. There was no young adult when I was young in 1962. That's not true. I wasn't young in 1962. But there was no young adult in the 80s. And so I was reading older middle grade, and it falls really naturally into young adult now. So it just feels right. A couple of years ago, there was an article that got put in one of the big Hollywood papers that said, Maggie Stiefvater, Hollywood's darling. And I thought this was a very strange sort of headline, considering I didn't have any of my books made into a movie. However, it was because every single one of my books basically has been optioned, which means Hollywood pays for the rights to think about making them into a movie. And every single one they've been thinking about making it into a movie.
Nice.
None of them are a movie yet. However, we've gotten pretty far on the Scorpio races. We have Focus Features on board. I just saw the screenplay. It's delightful. That's exciting. The Scorpio Races is the book of mine that I most want to see as a movie because I imagine all of my books first as an image, and then I have to translate them into words. And so the Scorpio Races, more than any of them, is a very visual book in my head. And so I like the idea that it'll be a visual that I translate into words, and then they translate back into a visual again. I want to see if they match up. The Scorpio Races is a very strange novel. It's about killer water horses that come out of the ocean every November, and they eat people, and the people on this island catch them and race them in this giant thrill-seeking race. And there's also baking. And so it's a strange novel, but I always loved the mythology of the killer water horses that would come out of the ocean and were the best because I had a fresh-off-the-track thoroughbred racehorse when I was a child, and I loved her really deeply, but she was also a terrible horse and wanted to kill me, so it's practically autobiographical. Yeah, I can't remember a time when I didn't want to write. I remember the moment when I decided it could be a career. That was in my late teens, but before that I was just always writing. I always say that you should write the book that only you can write. So it doesn't matter how strange it is. If you love it, you can make someone else love it. And also, when someone tells you no, what they actually mean is not yet. If you translate all no's into not yets, nothing is actually discouraging. This is a really interesting question because sometimes I can't decide if my life looks the way it looks because I write about it, or if I write about a life that looks like this because that's what I want my life to look like. It becomes very circular because I write about the things that I love, but I love the things that I read about, and so I'll often go and, for instance, right now I'm about to head off to a family vacation in Colorado, and I have a book that's being set there, and so that's why the vacation takes place there. But at the same time, I don't have the book written yet, so it becomes this very snake eating its own tail sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have liked Miami less when I was younger because I was less sure of myself, but now I can come down here and it's full of great music and great cars, and I really love it.
It's a good song. All right.
I feel like I am everywhere on the internet, so I have no goofy secrets. All goofy secrets have already been put on the internet. So I guess that would be the last thing I would say is if you want to find out more about me, you can find me on Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I'm on the internet. I am the internet.